We have a Shohei Ohtani trade update. We have Edwin Diaz signing a record-breaking extension. And we have some free agency news and extensions that have been made official recently. So we're going to break all that down in this episode of Dugout Digest. What's up, baseball fans? I'm Gosse, your host of Dugout Digest. And before I get into this video, I just want to welcome you guys again to the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And we're going to be posting daily baseball content over here. So just make sure you hit the sub button if you do enjoy the videos. We have a lot to get into today, so let's just delve right into it. So the first topic we're going to be hammering home is massive Ohtani trade update. This update got released, I believe, yesterday. And we're going to get into it right now. So for all you baseball fans out there, whether you're an Angels fan, a Yankees fan, whatever it is, and you wanted to potentially, trade for Shohei Ohtani or keep Shohei Ohtani if you're an Angels fan, Shohei Ohtani is staying with the Angels in 2023 per Angels GM Perry Minasian. So this is obviously huge news, as I'm personally a Jays fan, and I was, maybe hoping to trade for Shohei Ohtani this offseason, and tons of speculation was going around that he was on the trade block, on the trade market, and that the Blue Jays and other teams alike were looking to trade for him. And I believe, articles were being posted about potential trade packages for all 30 MLB teams. You had the Yankees preparing to trade for him. You had the Blue Jays, you had, the Rangers even maybe. Every, teams like that who may or may not have had the actual pieces to trade for him were all, gearing up and articles were being made. But all of that was put to rest by the Angels GM, as they said they are not looking to trade him. So there are two ways you can think about this. You could think of it, one, and take what he said as face value, and, he is not being traded. Or two, this is a smokescreen because he's not getting the offers he wants. And that, other teams, this is kind of like a smokescreen to get other teams to bid more and be like, this is your final chance, etc. What I think it is, I think it's true. I think that they're not going to trade him this offseason, but I think if they continue to struggle before the trade deadline this upcoming year, then they will trade him at the trade deadline. You cannot let Shohei Ohtani leave if you're the Angels GM without getting some value. Obviously, they extended him. He's on a one-year deal now for around $30 million. If he leaves, if you play through the season, you don't make the playoffs, or you make a small run, and then he leaves, you are leaving a generational talent on the table for nothing. You just let him walk. You cannot have that happen if you're the Angels, which is why I think this could potentially be a smokescreen. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. But either way, it is some massive news and definitely disheartening to some baseball fans out there, and Jays fans for sure, and even Yankees fans or anyone who wanted to go for Shohei Ohtani. And we'll see in the coming weeks what their plan is, what the Angels do in the offseason. And obviously, I'll be covering all that. I'll be covering every team. So that is the first major bit of news, and it is honestly just crazy that they he shut it down early. He did not want these rumors getting out of hand. He said enough's enough. He's seeing all the articles being posted by The Athletic, all these different places, MLB.com, of potential trades for Shohei Ohtani, and they just shut him down. He said nope, there is no Shohei Ohtani trade coming. So kind of ruins a bit of the excitement this offseason for the Angels fans and for some other teams. But I would not be surprised if even a couple months from now in this offseason if the rumors come back around. But let's delve into the second topic now, which is a record-breaking deal. So this is kind of crazy. We had the first major move of the offseason, free agency, which officially starts tomorrow, Thursday. But as of when the World Series end, you're allowed to do extensions. So what we have happening here now is a Edwin Diaz extension. The Edwin Diaz deal, which Bob Nightingale reported, is the first 9-figure contract ever for a closer, and for the first time takes the position into the 20 million plus range. A huge number, and the Mets get a top priority locked up before the full free agency starts. And this is obviously alluding to star closer Edwin Diaz locking in a 5-year, $102 million contract with an opt-out and full no-trade clause and a 6-year option. Absolutely unreal for Edwin Diaz. As it says here, record-breaking deal. First 9-figure contract ever for a reliever or for a closer. And if you're a Mets fan, you got to be happy that your owner's already spending this early on. He said as soon as the free agency opened, the next day he extended Edwin Diaz, locked down their closer, the best closer in the majors last year, with a close second to Emmanuel Clase, or you can flip those back and forth. But what a deal for Edwin Diaz. He's obviously getting the bag, the most ever for a reliever, and it is truly that's unbelievable amounts of money. Relievers can be very volatile. Literally a few years ago, the Mets traded for Cano and Diaz had a horrible year above a 4.5 ERA. So obviously they're putting a lot of faith in him, and I'm sure he's a different pitcher. Well, he is a different pitcher than he was back then. But 102 million for a reliever is crazy. But the Mets owner is super rich and he's ready to put his foot down, and that is scary for the other teams, and maybe the Yankees fans out there are a bit scared that Cohen is already spending this amount of money. But congratulations to Edwin Diaz for that, pretty important and crazy feat. So let's get into the third topic there, which is Rangers making moves. So a report surfaced today, actually, about the Texas Rangers. I'll pop it up here on the screen now. The Rangers, pursuing multiple pitching options, are waiting patiently on direction from Clayton Kershaw's camp on how willing he is to engage with teams other than the Dodgers. This is from John Morsey, pretty known reporter. This is pretty big news if you're a Rangers fan. And the main reason for that is, obviously, last year you spent $500+ million. You got Corey Seager and you got Marcus Semien, and they both had, fairly whelming years. Not overwhelming, not underwhelming, fairly whelming years. But Semien started to pick it up towards the end of the year, halfway through. But you have two really strong building blocks there, and your team really is ready to compete pretty soon, ready to compete now. And they're looking to acquire some more starting pitching, which they definitely need. Their pitching is lackluster, and if they really want to compete, you need starting pitching. And as the report says here, they are monitoring Clayton Kershaw. He could be an extremely interesting option if you're the Rangers. Veteran, get some more veteran presence in there alongside Seager and, of course, Semien. You get, stability in the pitching staff. You would have Kershaw, and you'd be able to throw him out there, and you know what you're going to get. Now, the question is, would Kershaw be willing to go to Texas? Who knows? They pulled Seager away from LA. They pulled Semien away from Toronto, obviously offering them gigantic contracts. But Texas is making moves, man. They're really making moves, man. It's crazy. Hopefully they continue. The Texas Rangers, obviously, like I said, I'm a Jays fan, and us and Texas have a bit of a rivalry. But it's good to see Texas making moves, having other teams pop in, making huge contracts. So hopefully they can. We'll be monitoring the Clayton Kershaw situation and see what the Rangers do this year, because I could see them making some more gigantic moves towards a push to a World Series, because they aren't quite there yet, and they had a horribly disappointing year last year. But they have some, nice young pieces. They had Jonah Heim, phenomenal catcher, and people like that. So hopefully they continue to make moves, because they are a pretty exciting team. And shout out to Marcus Semien and Corey Seager for going to Texas last year. We'll now move into our final topic. We're hitting on these topics quick because there's a lot of them. Any feedback you have in the comment section, or let me know what you guys think about the Rangers pursuing Kershaw or anything. The Ohtani update, whatever you guys want to do there. Final topic of the video, which is some updated free agent rumors. So we have just a little bit of the list. So I'll pop up a list here now. These are all the notable players who elected free agency as of today. There's obviously a couple more that aren't here, like Ross Stripling, for example, but you have Carlos Rodon, Anthony Rizzo, Jose Abreu, Corey Kluber, Mike Zunino, Josh Bell, Drury Manaea, Brandon Nimmo, Mitch Haniger, Adam Frazier, Trey Turner, Tyler Anderson, Clayton Kershaw, and Joey Gallo. That is a crazy list of players. There's some big names there. You got Trey Turner. You got Clayton Kershaw. We'll pop it up again. You have Carlos Rodon, who's going to be a target for a lot of teams looking for a starting pitcher, or specifically a left-handed starting pitcher. He was unbelievable last year. You have Rizzo, who I believe is going to come back to the Yankees. I saw a report on that today. You have Josh Bell, an unbelievable left-handed hitter for the Padres. You have Drury, who got traded, and you have, obviously Nimmo, who is a phenomenal center fielder. Obviously, you have Turner, and you have Mitch Haniger, who was a power hitter for the Mariners, who had a pretty solid year last year. So those are like the updated free agents. Obviously, the official free agency starts on Thursday, which is when stuff will really start going down. You'll be getting moves left and right, we think. Or it could be slow. You never really know. But there's already been some, lots of rumors coming up. There's lots of news approaching over the next few days. And I'm going to keep you guys updated with everything, especially regarding, free agents, any potential rumors for all teams. The Ohtani update today and yesterday was a big news, and we're right on it. So I'll be here updating you guys with everything baseball. And one last thing I want to shout out here is just the Trey Turner. He's gonna be a huge name to watch out for. Obviously, coming off of free agency against the Dodgers, he's gonna get a huge contract, and tons of teams are going to be interested in him. And he is really the big fish for this offseason, and I'm so excited to see where he lands, whether it's with my Blue Jays, whether it's with whoever it's with. We'll see. It's going to be cool to see how how much money he gets this offseason, and it's going to be a super exciting name to look out for, and it's going to be a super exciting offseason. So I want to thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you leave any comments you have in the comments section. Talk to me about baseball. Let me know what you think about the Trey Turner. Where do you think Trey Turner's going to go? Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Cheers.